Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral. With me today is Sunshine Cathedral's executive minister. He's also my husband, Bishop Robert Griffin, and Sunshine Cathedral's Minister of Connections, the Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be a part of it no matter where you live in the world. And if you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. If you enjoy the Queer God Squad, please share this or other episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities. At Sunshine Cathedral, we want you to know that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. We don't have to choose between queer integrity and religious faith. Union Theological Seminary Administrator Frederick A. Davie spoke with Vice President Kamala Harris during Pride events last June this year. He told the Vice President that a significant percentage of students at Union, and possibly a majority, were LGBTQ. I, queer theologian that I am, was graduated from Union Theological Seminary in 2006. I'm a proud alum. Vice President Harris responded to Davie that so many queer students at Union just proves that there are no false choices. Davie said that her words name a truth that he knows through his work and living, that we don't have to choose between faith, spirituality, or religion, and a fully embodied sexuality. Davie affirms that the widely held dichotomy between faith and sexuality is not the product of unsolvable tensions, but is the consequence of hatred masquerading as faith. Davie, encouraged by Harris's observation, believes religious pluralism is a mighty defense against Christian nationalism. He notes that the U.S. was never meant to be a Christian nation, and he sees interfaith coalitions working beside atheists and agnostics to try to bring about policies and practices that promote universal thriving. Sadly, such goodwill and cooperation rarely make headlines. Davie says, those of us who believe God calls us to mutual respect must get louder about our values. We cannot let the most bigoted and negative perspectives define faith in the public square. Davie says that radical love transforms lives and communities, which is why more congregations and denominations are now ordaining LGBTQ people and blessing same-sex marriages. Quoting Kamala Harris, Davie insists that there are no false choices, just a love that can heal what bigotry has broken. Such love, he hopes, can also heal a broken nation. What say we at the Queer God Squad? I know Mr. Davie, who is also a Union alum, and his husband of decades. They are people of faith and working in faith and social service, nonprofit based world. And I think most Union grads would sort of agree with him that LGBTQ is not at odds with the life of faith or devotion or spirituality, and that what matters most is love. That love is disarming, love is healing, love is uniting, love is what all of it is about. We're not trying to get dogma right. We're not trying to be super moralistic. We're not trying to be judgmental. We're not trying to be legalistic. None of that is what brings any healing or hope or unity. What we want is healing. What we want is togetherness. What we want is empowerment. What we want is justice. And that all comes from love. And so in my theology, love is what we call God. Love in its purest form. Love in its most adequately demonstrated. Love in its most universal experience. That's God. That's what we call God. Mm-hmm. And loving, that's the best sort of prayer. And so that's love is the answer. Whatever the question is, love is the answer. Love is what our faith is based on. Love is what our practices are meant to communicate. Love is what our ethics are based on. And so, yeah, if we can get that, if we can get past the prejudices, past the hatreds, past the fears, past the over and against, past the divisions, past the demonizing, the dehumanizing, the finger pointing, the wrist slapping, the name calling, if we get past all of that and just focus on love, then yeah, that will heal our brokenness, that will heal our broken relationships, that will heal our communities, and maybe if enough of us get in on it, it could even heal our very damaged world.
This is a lot of what happens here at Sunshine Cathedral, actually. Our affirmation now is a spiritual community, healing the hurts caused by hatred. People carry a lot of past religious experiences, not necessarily good religious experiences with them. When they come to a place, a progressive church like Sunshine Cathedral, where we really do focus on love and affirming the sacred value of all people, that is life-affirming, that is life-giving to a lot of people who have never experienced that. So living a life out loud of faith and religion and spirituality and love, that is so empowering, so life-giving to many people who've never had that before.
When I think about the notion of love that Davie speaks of here, and many others, it's like this concept that the love we live in, that we talk about, that we preach about, that we share about, it's a love that is non-discriminatory.
Right.
And that's what I love about the love concept, that it can heal because we're not trying to discriminate against anyone about their love.
Right.
You have a right to love like you want to love, a right to choose like you want to choose. And it's that other that's always trying to put limits and boundaries around what love should look like.
Right.
And I think the more we take love out of the box, the more we take love out of the closet, the more we do have an opportunity to take that type of love, and it can heal us, it can heal our community, and also lend a way to healing our broken nation. I think we are a broken nation right now. Yeah. And yet we do have examples of strong love and leadership in love that is continuing to, I think, beginning to want to mend us back to a place of hope, and want to get us back to a place of healing, and want to get us back to a place of leadership. Because I think we need strong examples of leaders today, leading in love also. And there's a lot of them out there, and we just have to be mindful of who they are, and maybe even surround ourselves by that love that exudes, love and leadership that exudes from them to empower us to continue what we have to do also. So kudos to the conversation.
Yes.
Kudos to Davie. Kudos to Union.
Oh, yes.
Kudos to Union. Strong leadership there. But I think, and the President Serene, who's there now, I mean, it's love for leadership, what she's doing with Union, but it's also as a reminder that even though it's there, it's also where we are, and and that's kind of our call right now, I think, is to make sure we lead and work in this type of love.
We have examples of people who try to lead from love. Not that they get it right all the time, but who make it an effort, who make it a priority to try to lead from love, and they seem to have the hardest time. They get the most resistance. Pope Francis. I remember all the way back to Paul VI, and I think Francis must be the most intentional and consistently kind and compassionate. He gets a shit and a rash from everybody all the time, right? And the same thing, I remember, I actually don't remember Johnson. I was born during Johnson, but I remember all the way back to Nixon, and then Johnson was happening when I was born. But so since of all the presidents I remember, President Carter, the most consistently, the kindest, most consistently compassionate, integrity, moral, and again, nobody beat up more than President Carter. One of the best people ever to, I don't know why you want to be in politics. I guess to do good, but just a good person. And then sort of more recently, Vice President Harris ran for president. And of course, she was a tough prosecutor. I don't know that she has the same vibe exactly as Jimmy Carter, but her campaign was completely focused on joy and love and hope and possibility and togetherness. Trounced in the election, where people chose pretty significantly something that was completely based on on fear and division and ugliness and accusation and cruelty and prejudice. And so, yeah, we hope that we can lead from love and that love will heal. But when it shows up, we do not treat it well.
Yeah.
And we seem to be suspicious of it. And we almost trust cruelty and hatefulness more than the love ethic. And I think that says something about how damaged and broken we are.
Right. I was just going to say, how often here at Sunshine Cathedral, we preach a message of love and care and compassion. And people come back and say, well, you're not a real church. You know?
Right?
Yeah.
You haven't sent anybody to hell. You haven't told anybody they got to change all their ways. You can't be a church.
What?
You know, and people who do this, like you think about your list that just named there, it's like every last one of them got beat up by people who thought that they got taken advantage of, you know, and like really demoralized by showing and leading through love. And I think it's a reminder that at the end of the day, what they're putting out there does not win. Love does win.
Right.
And that's that prevailing thing that we have to remind ourselves that love will win.
Yep.
And I'd still rather lose with love.
Oh, any day of the
than
week.
win with ugliness and hate and
Yep.
all of that. Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together.
We all are in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.